I'm a grandma.
I am a mommy.
I am a photographer.
I am a stay-at-home mom.
I am a student.
I am a Kentucky Elk guide.
I am a teacher.
I'm a biotech sales representative.
I am a human services supervisor.
I am a paralegal.
I am a meat producer.
I am a provider.
I am a high school job coach.
I am a healthcare worker.
I am Wildlife Women. For more Wildlife Women adventures, tune in to Hometown 24 on YouTube.
Every boy's midnight dream, damnest thing you've ever seen. I like the likes of her. Where do I get me one of those girls? A farmer's daughter, homecoming queen, likes to fight, what a sweet little thing. She can trick eyes, tear, throw back a shot. Now there ain't much going, that girl ain't got.
Today we're having a kayak teaching event here at Car Creek Lake, or Car Fork Lake. Some people call it Car Creek, some Car Fork. We've got ladies coming out that wants to learn, that's never done this before. Some people have, some people haven't. I've been on them once. She's not ever been on one. This one's never been on one. So we want to learn because it looks like fun. And I was on it one time and I had a ball, what little time I was on. So everybody's not been on one. This is where you need to be today.
Exactly, because we're setting this up and we're going to teach them how to ride and do the kayaks and how to be safe on them, right?
Right, and this is a good area right here. This is a no-wake zone. You need to learn where the lake is smooth and calm, and this is a good place. We're waiting on other ladies to get here, and then we're going to hit the water, and we're going to have fun today. And I look forward to it. I'm so excited. I can't understand it. Hey, ladies. If you're ever interested in kayaking, we had a wonderful kayaking event at Car Creek Lake, and we had 14 ladies in attendance that day, counting myself. We met early that day, signed in, got everybody signed in. Let's see, how many, okay. And I'll give you one. It's got 3 papers here, and I'll give her one. Did you find another opinion in my bag?
No, I like that.
Okay, where's it at? Well, here you go. Tina here, she taught the safety class because she was a pro at kayaking. I had never kayaked but maybe 2 hours. So I had Tina to come to teach her a safety class.
And I'm here to show these ladies today how to kayak.
All right. Who we got here?
I'm Luella Brown from Martin.
Karina Combs from wherever. I'm a gypsy. I'm Emily from Martin. I'm Kelsey from Martin.
I'm Angie from Manor. Hey. That's Allie, I brought her. Really, you'll sing in front of 1,000 people?
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. She gets up.
She'll sing in front of a crowd of
Yeah. Let me get my dry box out so my phone don't get wet. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna okay.
A few days before the class, me and Linda went out on the lake to go over it, go over the course and everything, and to check everything, make sure everything was good, and we put her in the kayak so she would know how to do it the morning we had the event. So when all the ladies got there and everybody got settled in and signed in, I took everybody down to the water and give them a safety class on how to get in and out of the kayaks, and you know, your life jackets, your PFDs and things like that. And then I took 2 different groups out. We went out and went to the waterfall up at Car Creek Lake, and then we came back, it took an hour or so. It was a little over an hour. And then I came back and I got the second group of ladies, and we went up to the waterfall. You got to go on that group, didn't you?
Yeah. No, it's goose. Duck and goose. Now that's slick, that stuff right there where the...
That's why I wear my tennis shoes. I want to do so. And I brought flip flops. I don't want to lose my flip flops, so I brought these other tennis shoes. And I brought my flip flops first. I brought the flip paint first.
Okay, girls, we can come down here.
Think of it as kind of like a
Dry box.
bicycle.
Here's a dry box.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, y'all can use it if you want.
If somebody wanted it, there's a dry box in this canoe.
You want me to put that under it, or you want it for your feet?
Anybody want it?
I'm going to put it right here. If you need it, it'll be under your strap right there.
Can you all girls swim?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good.
I've already checked them. Y'all ready? I'm going to give you a little boost off. Anything to see if they do with these. Start off easy. I'll let him go on and let him.
One that's done it before?
It don't matter. Just wherever you want to go. I'll come out and one.
Don't lean to the side. You'll be all right. Take care of
Take your time. Water feels great. Yeah. It don't matter, girls. Just whichever way you want to go. Just watch where the boat's like the pontoon that's going. Yeah, just watch. Oh yeah, we got some more people. Who's going now? Empty now. It's so cool.
We went up that holly the other evening, and it was so cool over the shade, and there was a picnic ground, and here's the headwaters is right there. And that campground is right across right over there.
Pictures.
So it's just a real pretty place. It's real peaceful back in there.
Right. This is a beautiful lake.
It is. To me, this is the prettiest area on the lake right here. They're being watched by the parker. He's taking some pictures. He comes to take pictures. He's going to put them on his website, on the website. Yeah, y'all missed him when he come by a while ago. So has that lady kayak before that's in the too late.
Whip her around, ain't you? You're going to go backwards.
I'm not concerned about my kid. I just shoved her out there. It's like she'll be fine.
If she can swim, she got a life jacket on.
All right, just balance yourself. It's like riding a bicycle.
The bicycle with no wheels in the water. That's
You got your balance?
hey. And Bridget's running and sweating. And
Here we are. We got one more boat.
Bridget ain't running. Bridget probably walking.
that's fine. Hi, Kirby.
Who wants a boat? We got one more boat.
We're doing a kayak class.
Go ahead and take it. You want to go? Who's next?
I think around
We got one more boat. Who wants to go? I'll go. Okay. Jump in. Grab you a latte.
Huh?
I need a little one.
You got the flipper.
Well, she does it.
I don't know if I should take my boat or not.
It's got a thing here that you can put down in a dry well thing.
I stuck it in my
What
bag.
how do take?
All right. Which one to take? That one. Brad told me to take the clipper. Right here? Yes. I can swim. Okay.
Yeah, I
And
can't
your
swim.
paddle's got a paddle holder right here.
That must be the one I use today because there's no back on it.
See your paddle holder.
This must be the one I use today because the
It
thing.
is. You just stick it through it or how? Like, you just lay it right here and it's got that little clip on it. But you've got the wrong paddle for the boat, but it don't matter.
I'm just so fascinated with little gadgets. I'm sorry.
All right. Okay, pull it kind of out in the water just a little bit. Okay.
And them other
That's
girls,
all right.
they'll
It just
they'll know to
clips
come
on.
down here looking for us, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Be careful on that.
I don't need to fall again. We've done that on other episodes.
Be real careful on that stuff. It's slicker.
Oh yeah, you got flip flops on.
Yeah,
Be
I
really
left
careful.
my shoes like Linda's.
Take your. I took my shoes off so they went barefoot on this concrete. I hooked my toes in those cracks.
You just gotta steady yourself like riding a bicycle. Get your paddle.
Get your paddle. At your balance.
Yep.
All right.
Ready?
I'm ready. And turn your paddle around the other way, Melissa.
Another way. Yep.
There we go.
Well, it's gonna be fun, girls. I ain't never been in this one. This one's not ours. I borrowed this one, so
Yeah.
let's see if I can flip her today. Make sure I ain't got nothing important if I flip.
Snap, that was slick.
Let's go. Woo! This one is gonna be easy flip.
If you flip.
Are we okay back there?
Yeah, you got it. You got it. You're good.
Make them all wear life jackets.
Well, those can all swim. The ones that can't wearing life jackets. They got them on their kayaks with them.
Opening day is a finish line to a race that started months prior. A race consisting of dedication, determination, and preparation, resulting in blood, sweat, and anticipation. So when that moment of opportunity presents itself, you can draw peacefully, knowing your time, energy, and preparation started with Rackology. Everything you need, all in one bag.
Hey, this is James Sam with Kentucky Bugle Struts Outfitter. This is Brandon Thomas. We're the co-owners here at Kentucky Bugle Strut. It's that time of year again. When it's a beautiful day here on one of our private properties we've got to hunt. It's probably got about 75,000 acres on it. And if you got the chance to hunt Kentucky elk this fall, woo! Man, are we excited. Give us a chance, give us a call. Talk to Brandon at 606-634-7640. He does all our booking. He does an outstanding job. Good luck. We hope to see you. But man, we're ready to make friends for life.
Tucked in the mountains of eastern Kentucky, perfect for a quiet weekend getaway or a fun-filled group adventure, visit us at Big Branch Cabins. Bring your ATV for some beautiful, scenic mountain riding. Our small cabin sleeps up to 4 people, and the big cabin sleeps up to 10, with another cabin coming soon. So bring the entire family. There's tons of parking and plenty of room to enjoy the outdoors. Cook out, play cornhole, hike, fish, or simply relax. Come visit us at Big Branch Cabin Rentals, nestled in the heart of Knott County.
I stayed back with the first group because some of the ladies had to leave early that day. They had things to do, so we split up into 2 groups. We had, I think, 10 kayaks that day.
I had 8, and no, we had 11 because I had 8 kayaks and Kate brought 3.
Yeah.
I think she brought
We
3.
had a lady come. She came all the way up from Somerset and brought 3 kayaks. So we took 2 groups, two different times. Tina went out with the first group, and they came back, and we broke. And we had lunch there at one of the shelters. We gave away some prizes that day. Had some drawing. Had some neat prizes we give out to some of the girls in attendance.
Had an awesome picnic lunch.
Y'all ready?
Yep.
Father, Lord, we thank you for this day, God, and we thank you for this group of ladies, Lord, that's been able to gather around and fellowship, Father, with us, Lord. Father, I ask you to bless the food, Lord. I ask you to bless the people that brought it and the hands that's going to prepare it, Lord. And I ask you, fathers, to be with us the rest of this day, God, as we are kayaking upon the lake, Father. We ask you to keep us safe, and we thank you for your mercy and your grace and your salvation, Father. Lord, we ask you to bless each and every one of you driving back and forth, that are going home, wherever they may go, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Now let's do drawings before these girls leave.
I ain't got my name in there.
She didn't hear us, did she?
Hey guys, we're getting ready to draw for some door prizes, so I'm going to close my eyes, find the bag. The first one is Velma.
Put her name in.
Made some cups there. We're gonna put my name in.
You can pick out whatever you want. This is paparazzi jewelry, sets of jewelry, and then this.
Cups.
So yeah,
Or
cups
bags.
or bag. You can pick out whatever you want. And the cups has logos on them. They are not dishwasher safe either, so make sure you hand wash them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next is Sam! With a knife.
Look, will say, that's right. You got
She had it spied out.
She had it spot out.
Girls, we got honey buns.
Next is
Twin babies too.
And you can put fruit in it.
Put fruit gum in there.
Yes. Miss Samantha's over here cutting tomatoes and cheese.
Mine.
Okay.
Bye, girls. Thanks.
And these tomatoes, I am telling you, they look delicious.
Bye, you all. Be careful.
Delicious. You just eat them up with a little sauce. Yum, 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 yum.
Oh my God.
And then we have some kosher deal.
There's hand
Purely
sanitizer.
pickles. If you want some of this, is good local food for you. It's so good. It's so good. And some cheese and meat. It's so good.
Oh my God. Are you going to really eat onions?
I am.
I'm going to
I
on a
don't plan on
sandwich.
kissing today, so I'm eating onions.
So we get ready to eat. We've had a word of prayer. And after we eat, we're all going to get back out on the kayaks. We kind of worked up a little appetite. We had a few ladies that had to leave because of work. So we had no break cake to show up a little late. And she brought 3 more kayaks with her. So I think now we've got enough for everybody.
And then we got the ladies that had to leave left. So we got on the kayaks, and that was my second time on the kayaks. So I had to act like a pro since I had the event that day.
Kept going around and around in circles, let me tell you.
I was like a crippled bug. I had like with my wing broke. I would be going down the lake paddling, going really good, and then all of a sudden they would just start going around, and I couldn't make it
I'd
stop.
look back and she'd be in a circle.
So I did a lot of loop-de-loops that day on the lake.
There's Miss Linda. Lord, look at Samantha. Here comes Crazy Woman. Woo, she's running a race. Watch her. Lord have mercy, she's going to kill you, Linda. Whoa, she's good at that thing. Look at her. She put that paddle in there and turned herself around.
If she would have jumped that, we would have had to laugh.
That is hilarious. So here we are. I don't know if you can see the waterfall back in here. Beautiful. I didn't know this was here at the... I don't have them in it. I don't know if anybody been back this far at Carfort and could get that beautiful little waterfall back in there. It's not huge, but it is a little waterfall. So we paddled back in here, and now we gotta paddle back out.
We went up to the waterfall. There's a waterfall there. What is that creek out there?
Litcar. It's beside the Litcar campground. You can go with, it's I guess the headwaters of the lake that runs into the lake. There's a pretty little waterfall up there. It's pretty nice. You can get out and play in it if you want.
So we went up to that, took our time. Some of the girls went faster than others. I think Samantha, she was
in ahead. She was going.
She was doing speed
like a
kayaking.
She's like a little paddlefish going up there.
Yeah, she did some speed kayaking, which was her first time she'd kayak too, but she loved it.
It was everybody's first time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think everybody but yours and Miss Kate's and
well, besides Kate.
And my 2 hours previous to that week. I guess I guess that made me a pro.
So she's technically a greenhorn, but she was a pro because she was going in circles.
But we tried the kayaks out that day and went up, and everybody had a wonderful time. It was really, really hot that day. Being on the water was cool. In the shade, we got under the bridge one time and the crosses 160 there, and we sit on the bridge and you hear the cars going over us and cooled
but it was
off.
Good shade.
And we sit there and cooled off, and then we went on down back to the campground there, White Pine campground there, or boat ramp there on Car Creek Lake. That's where we put in, and we had an awesome day that day. The Army Corps of Engineers, they came by that day, and
they done some cameras, or
they took some pictures of us for their pamphlet, and give us all a little
carabiner with a little light and thing on it,
a gift, and really enjoyed us. They said being there and being on the lake and doing things like that and promoting Car Creek Lake. So we had a really good day that day, and
we did. It was really fun.
And any ladies that when you see our events, you need to try to come out and attend. If you've never done it before, like this event, we had Tina to teach a safety class, how to get in and out of them, because I didn't know. I would have just flopped down on it and probably just rolled out in the water. But
it's easier than you think, though. It is.
She taught me how to get in and out of on the kayaks. Which
sometimes, though, if it's really hot out, I'll roll over and get in the water on purpose just to cool off. But it's pretty easy.
And there's different kayaks I learned. You got the ones that's what they call
set on or set in.
Yeah.
And you were in the set on both times, I think, and then you tried to set in. But I don't care for the set-in kind.
Set-in was not very...
I think those are more for the river. I like my set-on because I can get out and I can fish on it and everything, and I can put my supplies on it. And the kayaks has a little spot in the back and a little spot in the front. It's got the bungee cord. You can strap everything down, so that makes it really nice because you can put a cooler, you can put your tackle box. They've got fishing pole holders. You can put your fishing poles in. So you got fishing poles on both sides of you. They're awesome to fish out of. We go to Cumberland a lot and we fish.
And I actually tried, after everybody left that day, which I'm glad it wasn't videoed, I actually tried to sit in kayak that day. Those was not very easy for me to get out of. It was like, you're either sitting up this way on the boat ramp or you're sitting down this way on the boat ramp, and you're trying to stand up and
if you got bad knees, I wouldn't recommend the sit-in kind. It just don't.
It was very hard for me to get out. We all had a good laugh, and they finally pulled me out of it, and we got out. But I enjoyed using that kind. It was fun going across the water.
Those are great on the river.
But it was hard to get out of on a slope. Maybe it was a level place. But it was sort of funny.
The boat ramp was really slick too. Remember the algae that was on the boat ramp?
It was very hard for me to get out of that day. But I tried all three out, and I like to sit on best for me. It's a whole lot easier for me to use.
They're more roomier, aren't they?
Like she said, and kayaks are really more stable than I thought they would be. I was thinking you would go zip, zip,
Anything over 10 foot, you're going to get more stable. The 8-footers, the one that you were in, that you kept going circles, those were the 8-footers. Those aren't as stable, I don't think, in the water as the 10 foot.
It was hard for me to maneuver the 8-foot. The 10 foot I'd used earlier that week. I did
better.
Real good for a first timer. The 8-foot one. I don't know. I did more circles that day than, I don't know. I was almost drunk by the time I go back going around. But I made it. I did twice the paddling because I had to go up and do the circles and then come back.
We had a great time that day.
But it was a wonderful time that day, and I encourage any lady that if you want to do anything like that, you see where we're having an event, try to come out and join us.
We've had several kayak events this year, haven't we? And we're planning on more, so...
So watch our web page, our Facebook page, and watch for our events and try to come out and enjoy it and be part of Wildlife Women.
I mean, if you would just like to come out and try it to see if you like a kayak, because, you come out and you come to one of our events and you can test drive a kayak, and if you like it, you can go get one.
I think that Melissa, she had never been on them, and she really enjoyed it. And I think that was the day she went home the next day and bought her a kayak. So.
She went home and she said she started searching and she finally found her one and she got her. I love the one she got. It's teal. It's pretty.
So we've turned a amateur into a pro kayaker now.
Yeah, Linda says she's going to get her a kayak now. So we're going to go down on the river and we're going to do some fishing on them.
That's on my bucket list, is get me a kayak.
So if you would like to come to any of our events, just get on Facebook or Twitter. Everything's listed on there. We got an event pretty much every weekend. So just come out and see us.
Shoot like a boss.
Today I got to host my second event as a chapter leader in West Virginia for Wildlife Women. It's been 2 months in the making. I had originally scheduled it about a month ago, and about 2 days before the float happened, it was rain and flooding and all that and stuff, so we had to postpone it. But Float 'em If You Got 'em came and went, and it was a great day. We ended up having 35 people show up.
I had no idea that this was such a popular event until Cassie Diamond, our West Virginia chapter leader, decided to host a Wildlife Women float on the Tug River.
This makes the largest event that we've had so far with Wildlife Women, and it got to happen in my area. 35 people came out. We ended up having 29 people actually float the river with us, and it was a beautiful day. Everybody enjoyed it, and we just had a great time.
Cassie had made several connections with the tourism committees in West Virginia and even in Kentucky, and she's making all these friends with these riding groups that travel all over that do these floats, and they are becoming just huge events.
As we were getting ready for everybody coming in, we were setting up things, and I felt myself getting so nervous. You know, I had all my family there with me, my husband, my 3 amazing kids, my mom and dad was there, my best friend was there, and I just kept thinking, you know, how many people's going to show up? How many people's going to show up? I had planned for a large amount of people to be there, but we had a little bit of rain the night before, so I think that kind of, you know, made some people leery. But once the people started coming in, that nervousness just kind of went away. I seen that, you know, my community was behind me, and all these other groups from the area was coming by showing their support.
Everybody, this is Cassie Diamond. This is my good friend Pete Runyon. Introduce yourself.
Jeff Dixon. Robert Mullins.
Pete is with Friends of the Tug River page. He is really promoting the river here in our area. The East Kentucky River Riders is a kayaking group that's gotten together and helping promote stuff too.
We're just anything with the river. Yeah.
Anything with the river. So excited that these guys came out to be a part of this today. Tell them a little bit what you're all trying to get done with the tug, Pete.
Well, the Tug Fork River is coming next week. Will be an official blue water trail. They're going to do it from right now from Blackberry down to this site right here. We're promoting getting access on the river all over. We're promoting family fun, kayaking, fishing, just float, anything that floats, whatever you want to do. We've got a real jewel here on the Tug Fork River, and I want to thank you for what you've done. You were great.
Honey, we are so excited to be here. You know, this is my hometown. This is where I was born and raised. Pete did a little bit of everything from reffing to umpiring softball games when I was growing up. So I'm really excited to be able to bring these events back to my hometown and get a lot of people coming in and interested with our area. You know, that's one thing with Wildlife Women is we try to promote our areas. You know, we get women and, you know, everybody out, you know, to experience the wildlife, and no better way than, you know, to do it on the river and stuff. This is our first big family river float, and I'm super excited. We've got so many people coming out, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day to float the river.
It'll be a great event. Jeff is with the East Kentucky River Riders. Jeff, tell them about the East Kentucky River Riders, how your group, how you got started.
We're just a loosely formed group started on Facebook, just to share pictures and stuff.
A love of the river and a love of the outdoors.
Y'all gone pretty big too, haven't you? You know, Pete's the one that introduced me to them. So, and when I got on their page, they got some awesome things going on there. You know, if you love looking at the pictures and stuff, you know, go on there and give them a like on Facebook. Again, it's called East Kentucky River Riders. Make sure you check out the Friends of Tug River. And who else know we got on there?
Oh gosh, we've got groups. We've got Straight Out of the Guyandot on the West Virginia side. We've got the Leviza and Russell Fork
the Russell Fork Anglers.
Yeah, the Russell Fork Anglers.
There's a group. We've also got all the way down into Louisa. We've got Trail Town. We've got Laura Pack with the Paintsville group, and all of us are promoting the same thing. We're trying to band together and get something going all in Eastern Kentucky and Southern West Virginia. So come out, have fun, enjoy yourself with us. And if you can't come, look on our Facebook pages. You will be able to follow us.
I hadn't really planned on going to this event because it was actually a 3-hour drive for me. And getting up that early in the morning is not my favorite thing. I will do it for deer hunting and maybe a vacation here or there, but I hadn't really thought I was going to get up that early to make it to this float. But Cassie is expecting so many people, and I just have to see this. I really want to go and support her, and I think I'm going to go and help her, but she has everything very well organized and very well thought out. And when I get there, she's happy to see me, but she didn't need me.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good.
We'll throw your rope and...
It's our first event ever that Cassie's hosted, so I'm pretty excited.
Looks like we're getting a lot of people in already. So we're doing sign-ins, and the weather's clearing out, so we should have a great day today.
Right before we got on the water, I was able to give away a door prize. A couple months ago, I talked to some ladies down at Cabela's in Charleston, West Virginia. Their human resources department is amazing down there. They donated a kayak for the float that I was able to give away as a door prize. I had everybody sign in, and as they were signing in, right beside their name was a number. So I did a number generator on my phone.
The last thing before we can hit the water, well, we got prayer after this, but the last thing that I'm going to do is Cabela's out of Charleston was gracious enough
donate this awesome kayak for us today. I got a hold of the ladies there in their HR department, and they were really excited about Wildlife Women. Two of their HR ladies actually become members of Wildlife Women that day. So we want to thank them. The kayak it's a pretty nice one. It's an emotion one. And what I did is everybody that signed in, when you signed in, you signed beside a number. I've got a number generator here in my phone. I'm going to put all the numbers in, and it's going to pull me a number, and that's going to tell us who the winner of the kayak is. I believe that was about the fairest way I could do it.
I pick all the way.
Yes.
Just say thank you to Cabela's one more time. I missed the beginning. Don't do the whole thing, and I'm just going to put a little
Everybody
clip.
signed in?
Really short one.
Yeah, everybody signed in, right? Thank you so much to Cabela's for donating this kayak today for us to give away at Float 'em if you got them. You guys are awesome. Does that work? All right. So the number, I think the final number was 33.
32.
32, was that it? Oh, you're up here. Okay. All right, 32. And the lucky number is number 3. And just so happened a sweet guy, he's a 17-year-old boy out of Mingo County, West Virginia, Trace Clark, won the kayak. He was super excited, so I can't wait to get pictures and video from him getting out on the water.
Trace Clark.
Who's Trace Clark? This is actually Ray's boy with Solo Outdoors, so that's awesome. We hope you enjoy your kayak, buddy.
A big thank you to our supporters at Cabela's. Y'all, it's just been amazing how so many people have just embraced what we're doing and wanted to help, just like these ladies at Cabela's in Huntington, and donated to our cause, and it's just been absolutely, absolutely wonderful.
Ray Clark with Solo Outdoors came by. He's one of my dear friends. He's taken me on a coyote hunt and things like that. We go riding all the time with them. Great bunch of guys. He brought his whole family with him. It's my great buddy Ray Clark with Solo Outdoors. Check out his awesome truck he just got wrapped. Ray is a big part of Mingo County, West Virginia. He does a lot of hunting and things like that. He's been a really big supporter of Wildlife Women, and I'm so glad that him and his family has came to Float the River with us. Tell us a little bit about Solo Outdoors, Ray.
We're doing pretty good. Me and my son just got off of a hog hunt about 2 weeks ago. Got us 2 hogs, spot stall. Got some upcoming hunts this fall, doing some traveling. Things are looking good.
He took me on my first coyote hunt and stuff, so I was super excited. He brought his big AR. It was all decked out with the Tacticams and everything like that. It was a super fun experience. We're actually going to try to plan in the next couple of weeks to go back out and see if we can slay some dogs. Everybody knows coyotes are really big predators in our area, so I'm excited about that, and I'm excited to see where we go from here. When they pulled in, you seen their big, huge truck. He just got his truck wrapped, so you knew that that they were coming to have a good time. When they started pulling out their floats, I just grinned real big because I thought, what in the world? They had a huge Pegasus float. It looked like a big unicorn with wings, I guess is what you call it. And then also one of the boys that he had with him had a hamster float and stuff. But I mean, if you picture it, you'll see it. But it's just this huge wheel that they floated in down the river. It was the funniest 2 floats I believe I've ever seen. And to see 2 high school boys floating down the river on these floats was a sight. I don't know who was more tired by the time the float was over, but they took turns throughout the day, and I got to give them credit. It was a long day for them, but they seemed to have a ball with it.
Cassie's had this really cool shirt designed just for the float, and when I get there, people are just buying the shirts and everybody's smiling and they're blowing up their floats and just looking forward to the day. She has a group coming in that is renting kayaks and floats for people that don't have them. Some of our Wildlife Women members have came that's been to previous events. I know it was so good to see No Break Kate. She came to our Mud Mascara event, and I tell you, watching her has just been amazing. She has came from a girl that hardly did anything outdoors to she is going to all the events and braver than most of us, and she's just embracing everything and trying everything. So it was really good to see Kate, who also had quite a drive. Look, it's No Break Kate.
We ready to do this? Let's do this. I only got in around
kayak. I like it.
10 p.m. last night. Camped out at McDonald's in my car, my favorite.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You are
and
true
they told me that
wildlife
they only
woman.
live like 10 minutes from here. I could have camped in their yard if I'd wanted to.
Oh my gosh, a true wildlife woman. No hotel, just camping.
Oh, heck no.
How far of a drive was it for you?
3 hours.
Wow.
But I learned a secret shortcut to Lake Cumberland from here.
Oh, really?
119 right there in Pikeville joins up with State Road 80 or Highway 80.
Oh,
I live on 80.
yeah. Very cool.
I just a straight shot, man. I put it on cruise control, was rocking the whole way. Good to go.
Are you excited about today?
Absolutely. It has been too long. I can't wait.
We're so glad to have you back. We love having No Break Kate with us.
Thank you.
You got brakes on that canoe, chick?
I've been learning. I've been practicing.
So I'm actually a little bit nervous about today. I don't know if you guys have picked up on this, but I can't swim. I know Cassie and her family floated down the Tug before to make sure it was a good, safe route, and they knew it very well before the float. But it rained a lot last night, so I'm a little bit nervous that the river's up higher, or at least in points it'll be over my head. So I'm debating on whether or not to wear a life jacket, but we'll see.
I'm Tina Thornsberry, the owner and guide of Beaver Creek Outfitters in beautiful Knott County, Kentucky, the elk capital of the East. If you were lucky and you drew a tag to come hunt in Kentucky, give us a call at 606-369-6594. Let Justin, Ross, Brad, or myself help you fill your tag of a lifetime.
The X-Stand brand stands for something. It's something you can't put a price tag on, and it sets them apart from the rest of the industry. It was built from the ground up with a genuine work ethic that doesn't cut corners. X-Stand products are world-class and use hunt-safe technologies to go above and beyond normal safety standards. Just like the revolutionary technology of the Jaw safety system, X-Stand products stand for safety and quality. X-Stand. Simply smarter, simply safer.
This was my first event that our president, Bridget Holbrook, got to attend. Like I said, you know, this only makes my second one, but my first one, it was pretty snowy, and it was a carry and conceal class, so she didn't get to make it. But I was really excited that she got to be there and float with us. She ended up getting on the float with Ray's family. It was I think the float that they used was what they call a party barge and stuff, but it was big enough. It held 4 people, my daughter, Ray's wife, Bridget, and one of their good friends.
I had intended on renting a kayak or renting a float from the people until I got to talking to the guys from Solo Outdoors, and they decided to let me on that big limo float. So I'm really excited about that and hopped on with them.
They seemed to have a really good time today. The funniest thing about it was even though it was a party barge, there were some spots in that river that they just could not make that thing go.
All right, so y'all, we're floating down the Tug River, and the ladies let me in on their Cadillac boat. It's really fun, except there's 4 of us in this thing, and it's kind of dragging in the back. So here comes the rescue team. We kind of got a barge thing going on, pushing us. We have a really good mixture. There's a couple people in canoes. There's mostly kayaks. Some people are fishing from their kayaks. Some people are all tied together and just chilling and relaxing and floating down the river. And it was just a beautiful day. The weather was perfect. I was so happy for Cassie. The turnout is amazing. And y'all, there were 2 ladies that drove 6 hours. I could not believe they came that far, but they were great ladies, and hopefully they'll become Wildlife Women members as well.
Float 'em If You Got 'Em was designed to be a family event for me. Our group focuses, on making sure that, we encourage women to get out and do things in the outdoors, but we're also very family oriented. We all love our families and want them to be a part of everything we do. So this was my big family event. I was super excited to have my kids there and my husband there and my mom and dad there. They're all such big supporters of me and everything I do. My husband lets me chase my dreams in whatever fashion that I want to go in. So I was really excited to be there. I couldn't thank my husband enough for all the help and support that he gave me with getting the float ready. He did everything from getting an excavator and cleaning out some of the boat ramps and things like that, getting that more accessible so that it was easier for people to get on and off the river. My kids were amazing. They had a ball. Chelsea's my oldest daughter, and she floated along the river on a float with my mother-in-law and stuff, and they had a great time. And then my son ended up renting a kayak. It's the first time I'd ever seen him on one, and he handled it like a pro, and so it was a proud mommy moment for me with him on that. And then my little girl, she's always a barrel of fun, and she was taking the GoPro around and videoing people, and she was all excited that she got to be in the float with Bridget for part of the day.
We got fish on here. We got fish in our little pool. Yes. Yeah, what we get that the most video I've got to do. No, it won't. Oh gosh, I can't believe we. Oh, look, they're over there by your leg too. There's a bunch of fishes. Look, gosh, I can't believe there's fish in here. There's fish in our boat, Mom. There's fish in here.
And then towards the end of the float, I put her on the kayak with me and stuff, and we just had such a great time. And so I was extremely happy that overall that everybody was able to bring out all their families and all of us have a good time. Looks like come Christmas time, Santa Claus may be bringing 3 new kayaks to my house, because now that's all my kids are talking about, is they all want their own kayaks. So hopefully Santa Claus has a pretty good billfold come Christmas time.
There's 4 of us in this big limo float, and none of us has used a paddle before. So needless to say, we had a blast, and we laughed and we talked and we chilled and relaxed and just loved floating down that river. But we were the slackers, because that float was really hard to get down that river, which was not flowing very fast with all that weight in it. And we didn't really know how to use the paddle until about halfway through. Then we started figuring out how to push ourselves away from the sides and go a little bit faster. But Cassie's husband had a little john boat with a motor, and him and Ray from Solo Outdoors were just tremendous help that day. It was a family event where everybody had their husbands and kids with them, and they helped so much. But this was probably my favorite thing they did. They were scheduled to be camera crew. They were scheduled to be rescue crew if needed. But when they decided to be the barge crew, I was really happy. Ray and TJ gets up behind our big limo float and decides to give it a little push and let the motor from their little john boat make us go a little bit faster down the water. That way everybody didn't have to wait so long for us to just be back there chilling.
About halfway through the float, we decided that we were going to take a break. This was my halfway point. I figured we could stop and let everybody, you know, kind of rest for a minute, see how everybody was doing, if they were, you know, comfortable on the river. And right there's a big sand barge and stuff, so it's plenty of area for people to get off their, you know, their floats and kayaks and stretch their feet and things like that.
Okay.
They was right up against us once. They're lazy, they ain't paddling.
Yeah.
So how are you guys liking the float so far?
Love it.
I'm loving it.
Y'all having a great time?
Yep. Really good time.
Good. What about you, sir? You having a good time?
I am.
Good.
Good time. He said, don't call him sir. He ain't his daddy.
Oh, we got selfieing going on over here. Got selfieing with Jenny going on.
Oh.
You know what I like is
it might be
Okay.
soapy after
work
tasting
together
your
and stuff like that. You don't never get to do fun things together.
Yep.
I'm trying to do fun things.
Your legs is about long as the
Yep.
kayak, ain't they?
Yeah, a little bit.
Been racing in the cold for us.
And right over to the left, there is a rope swing that throws you out over the river. My Aunt Donna was there, and she had told me that, you know, a few weeks before, her and her son had went down the river and he had jumped it, so that it should be, you know, good to go. And y'all know me and my crazy self, I had to try it, so here we go.
I don't know if I can, so I'm good. I don't want that on video.
At this stop, all the kids decide that well, I say kids, but I think Cassie probably started it.
We get over to the rope swing and, you know, we gauge it and things like that, make sure that the water's deep enough, and sure enough, it's good to go. So we started taking turns, and about 4 or 5 of the ladies participated, and my son had to, you know, to get his go at it.
Ain't got no water. Yeah.
It was really fun to watch, and they were all excited at who could make it off into the water and who couldn't. I think Cassie's son probably had the best dismount. So we're all over there scoring and laughing and cutting up, and to the point that I realized, yeah, I just came through some water that was probably way over my head. I had no idea.
I'm gonna go jump.
My daughter, my oldest daughter, she had to give it a go too. So that was probably some of the most fun that we had on it as far as being off the river. I don't think the next day that my 32-year-old self realized how sore I'd be, but we had a really good time.
Go!
Go, Cassie!
Cassie Diamond. Judges, we have an 8.2. She just didn't quite get the landing down on that one. What do you think? I mean, have you got any comment on that one right there?
I think it would be like a 1500 because I can't swim. That's guts right there.
Oh, okay, all right.
My son was a rock star on the tire swing that went over the river. He actually got the GoPro and he held it as he was swinging across the river. I joked later on the day, I said he looked like a modern day Tarzan, but I think he couldn't have had any more fun if he tried. At our resting point, there is a part of the river that narrows down and stuff because you got the sand barge over here and then you got the edge of the river on this other side. So it gives you like a pretty swift current right through there. Well, about a month before our float had actually, went along, there was a huge tree that had fell down in that area. And, with some of the local groups, they informed me that it might be a hazardous situation and things like that. So the week before the float actually took place, my husband and I and our Aunt Donna went down, and my husband sawed out as much of the trees he could. And I mean, he done a fantastic job. He got a lot of the debris and things like that out of the way. But some of the people were a little leery and they didn't want to try. And so, thankfully the sand barge was there. And for those that, didn't feel confident with, floating through that, pretty fast current right through there, we let them pick up their, their floats and carry it to the other side. It was, a lot safer.
Watch her go. Here comes the mom.
Tucked in the mountains of eastern Kentucky, perfect for a quiet weekend getaway or a fun-filled group adventure, visit us at Big Branch Cabins. Bring your ATV for some beautiful, scenic mountain riding. Our small cabin sleeps up to 4 people, and the big cabin sleeps up to 10, with another cabin coming soon. So bring the entire family. There's tons of parking and plenty of room to enjoy the outdoors. Cook out, play cornhole, hike, fish, or simply relax. Come visit us at Big Branch Cabin Rentals, nestled in the heart of Knott County.
Opening day is a finish line to a race that started months prior. A race consisting of dedication, determination, and preparation, resulting in blood, sweat, and anticipation. So when that moment of opportunity presents itself, you can draw peacefully, knowing your time, energy, and preparation started with Rackology. Everything you need, all in one bag.
Shoot like a boss.
Now, if y'all want to know where I get my craziness from, you'll be able to see it in this episode. My dad, I get it a lot from him and stuff. My mom too, but now my dad is a pretty adventurous little fella. He had purchased him and my mom a canoe before the float started, and they brought the canoe down. Well, that swift current was pretty fast that day, and he looked at me and he said, "Sis," he said, "I think we can take that canoe down that river." He said, "We shouldn't have any problems with it." I thought to myself, I don't know about this, but we'll give it a try. So I told Dad, I said, well, Dad, I said, the only thing we can do is flip it. It ain't deep enough to hurt us, so we'll give it a try. We're paddling and stuff, and I feel the back end of the canoe start coming around. And I'm hollering at Dad. I'm like, hey, Dad, paddle here on the right side. I can't see. I don't think he could hear me because it was kind of loud, and you had everybody trying to tell us which way to go. Well, we ended up coming completely sideways. But I don't think and we hit one of those branches that was sticking out from that tree, and when it did, watch here, they're gonna play it right here. Oh! Get your stuff. He got soaked. I'd already been soaked, so it didn't matter to me. But neither one of us got hurt. It was a learning experience, and it was just a fun day out with my dad like any other day when I was growing up.
Cassie and her father, they tried to take a canoe through a strainer, and they got caught, and this is what happens, and this is the reason why when trees are in the water, avoid them at all costs, because the current will take you under. Even wearing a life jacket is very, very dangerous.
Now, pulling this canoe out was a completely different situation. By the time me and Dad had gotten out, the water had already capsized the canoe, and it was already full of water and stuff. I didn't think that we would ever get it out. My husband came in the water, my Aunt Donna came in the water, and then, you know, of course I was there. And I think my son was out there helping us. I could be wrong, but I think he was. And we just kept on trying to lift it and lift it and lift it, and we could not get it to flip back over and stuff. So what we decided to do was, there was a rope that Dad had already put a rope on the front of the canoe before they got started to help, you know, secure it when they would stop and things. And so we had everybody that was on the sand barge there to grab a hold of the rope, and as they were pulling, we were lifting it up. And by the grace of goodness, I don't know how we did it. I don't know how that canoe stayed in one piece, because it just kept bowing and bending. But we finally got that sucker out. So teamwork really paid off for us. Towards the end of the float, there is one section of the river where there's two big rocks on each side. So it kind of puts like this funnel system into the river. And you have to, you kind of have to hit it straight on. As you all can see, my little girl, Izzy, is going to be a wild child like her mom. Before we went down the rapids, she wanted to get on the front of the kayak with me. No fear in this child. She got on there, and she put her feet up, and she said, "Mom, let's go." She was all excited, and it shows you that how much your child has faith in your capabilities when you do things like that, because she showed no fear. We went down those rapids, and she was a grinning and a smiling the whole way through. It wasn't major rapids. It wasn't like something on a whitewater rapid episode or anything like that. But it was enough current that, for a smaller child, you would think that they'd be kind of leery about it. But now she was all excited. She's going to be my future wildlife woman when she gets older. So it was fun seeing her and watching her have that experience. My boy went down the rapids with no problem, and it was his first time on the kayak, so he worked that kayak all day like a champ. What was pretty cool as we were coming down the rapids was the guys from East Kentucky River Riders had went ahead of us. And when they did, they got up on the side, up on these rocks, and, they're hollering at us, steer right or steer left. So they was really, really helpful during that time, especially for the ones that hadn't really, kayaked and things like that. The floats didn't have any problems. The current kind of just brought them, straight through it and just funneled them to the middle anyway. So, they didn't have any problems with it. But it was so great to see those East Kentucky River Riders guys, kind of coaching us and teaching us how to maneuver those rapids, and they were videoing, and they got some really good footage for us, so that was pretty cool. Going back to the county support, it was pretty awesome. We were coming down the river, and all of a sudden we hear people hollering at us from everywhere, and we got to looking, and coming down the Tug, there's houses that line the river in certain portions. You got certain portions that just cover, you know, go by the highway and things like that. And the other parts, you come by and you have houses and stuff. Well, people must have been watching Facebook and stuff in my hometown and things like that and following it, because as we were coming by, they were barbecuing and videoing us and hollering at us as we were, you know, coming by on the river. So I thought that was pretty cool. They waited and stuff till we came through and you know, was cheering us on. So that was pretty awesome.
Good, thank you. I got a lot of pictures.
At the end of the float, I have to give my husband a lot of credit. We decided that part of the float would include bringing people back up out of the water, so that bringing their kayaks and things like that, shuttling them back to their vehicles so they wouldn't have to worry about getting their kayaks and things like that back to their vehicles after the float. Because that's one big thing with, you know, kayakers and stuff is, you know, if you float and it's just you and another person, you have to figure out, where am I getting out at, where am I coming in at, you know, you got to take another vehicle, things like that. But he made a pretty good system. He hooked up our trailer, our little hook and haul trailer, but to the back of our side-by-side, and we would load up 2 kayaks at a time, and he would haul those up the riverbank, and then he'd come back and he got 2 more and things like that. And then as you know, whoever's had their kayaks, you know, on the back of the trailer, he'd go ahead and take them on up to their vehicle. So it was really instrumental. He did a wonderful job, and I couldn't thank him, you know, enough for that. Our cousin, his nickname is Little Man. Couldn't thank him enough either, because, you know, he was really helpful at the end with helping my husband get everybody's floats and kayaks and things like that to their vehicles. We made it, 3.5 hour float. We went down some rapids. We had the Pegasus. We had all these kayaks.
Speaking of Pegasus, he's still coming.
Yeah, Pegasus and the hamster wheel is still coming. So we had such a great time. We had 33 on the water.
33 on the water. People drove y'all from Ohio,
all the way from Cleveland, 6 hours. We got the East Kentucky River Riders over here. We got Cleveland. We got everybody. So I mean, just couldn't have asked for a better day. The weather's just amazing. The river cooperated. So
nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt. Nobody drowned.
We flipped a canoe.
We did flip a canoe, but it's okay. I think float them if you got them turned out to be fantastic.
Major success.
Yeah.
Cassie Diamond's event was awesome. I'm so excited. Biggest one to date.
Woo!
Good job, girl. So we make it to the end of about a 3-hour ride. The weather's been perfect. Cassie's done a great job. Everybody is smiling and having a blast. I was really glad that I did come to this event and realized that I really enjoy floating. I like the float that I had. I'm hoping to buy Wildlife Women one. I think it could be used in the lake or on a river or anywhere, and I just really enjoyed it. Cabela's giving us the kayak was super cool. I know several of our girls are starting to fish from kayaks. I don't know that I'm that coordinated, but it may be something I try later on, of course, with a life jacket, because swimming is not something I've mastered. But all in all, it's been a blast. I've got to get to know Cassie's family a little better, and her children, and little Izzy's just going to be a total Wildlife Woman. She was catching tadpoles in our float where the water had came up. There was little tadpoles in there, and I was really enjoying watching her laugh and catch them. Cassie's done a great job with this. She thought everything through. It was a very smooth event, and we thought it was going to be chaos with the amount of people that was coming, and I was just very pleased and very proud of her and very glad that West Virginia is now part of Wildlife Women.
All in all, looking back, the day was a great day. We didn't have no mishaps. We didn't have bad weather, nothing like that. It was honestly just a gorgeous day. Feeling like my community and things like that was behind us, and really showing love to Wildlife Women was probably the best part of it all. A lot of groups came out, a lot of people came out, and all day long was just nothing but a fun time. So I want to thank everybody that came out. And we'll look forward to having more adventures. Float 'em if you got 'em is officially a wrap.
Major success.
We just got off the river. We got to thank my best friend, Brittany Owens. She was so instrumental in helping me get all this taken care of and videoed for me. I don't know what I'd have done without her. I mean, thank my mom and dad and my husband. He's been just crazy busy helping me get everything ready for the river. The family event was awesome. I'm so excited. It was just an overall great day.
It was a great day. We had people driving from Cleveland. We had several different groups here that are river riders all the time, so it was pretty cool to join them with Wildlife Women, and the event was just amazing. Cassie did a great job. I thought I was coming to help, and she had everything put together. So y'all are missing out if you don't come out to Wildlife Women's events. Check us out.
Yeah, come on boys and girls, let's go.
Are you done?
My arms are
ready to
starting.
Beep.
Ray video on that.
Yep, she cussed. They told me not to cuss.
Hey, I'm telling you though, have y'all watched the Paramore channel? We've been watching that show
Yellowstone.
I just tell you right now, they sure do let a lot more go by on regular TV now than what they used to.
Yes, they do. I've noticed that too.
It's
crazy because they'll let them say
Yeah.
but bleep out.
Yeah. It's all right.
Beep, 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 beep.
He's good. I got you. I ain't gonna run over. He's
There you go. Right for a big rock. Big rock.
That's all right. Oh, no.